Hi, I'm Lizzie from Baecrochett, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create this cute crochet cardigan. If you would like the written pattern, it's linked in the description below on my Etsy shop and on my website, baecrochet.com. P.S. You always get exclusive discounts on baecrochet.com. Here I'm showing you the cardigan that I made with white cotton yarn that I'm wearing, and this one I used with 4 medium yarn, so it's a bit heavier than the other one to the right, the beige one. That one I used Lion Brand Kubu yarn, and that one I believe is a weight 3 yarn, so it's a little more airy than the cotton one. And then there's this other one, the gray one, that I made with cotton yarn as well, but I think it's also a weight 3 yarn. I think it's premier yarn. I can't remember exactly, but I made the back panel wider for this one, and I always wear this like almost every day when I go out. And the sleeves are quite long. I probably should have made it a little shorter, but I still like the look of the long sleeves. But this cotton one that I'm making for you in this tutorial that I'm wearing, I really like the length of the sleeves. And what I like about it is you can use a button. I like the look of the one button, and you can also slip your thumbs through the holes. But yeah, let's get into it. For this tutorial, you will need yarn of your choice. I'm using weight 3 yarn, which is DK weight yarn. This yarn didn't have a brand, and I also have this yarn here that's kind of like a mandala yarn, but I also lost the tag for it a long time ago. We're going to be combining these together in this project. You can use any yarn of your choice. You will need a 6mm crochet hook, a tape measure, scissors, stitch markers, and a darning needle. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to be starting from the middle here, and we're going to be working on the back panel first, and we're working from the bottom up. So first you're going to make a slip knot and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double crochet into the first stitch, which is also going to be the ring. So we're going to double crochet 2 times into that first stitch. Yep. Now we're going to chain 3, turn our work, double crochet 2 times into the first stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 and double crochet 2 times into the last stitch, which is this chain 3 here, into the top of that chain 3. Double crochet 3 times. And 3. Now you're going to chain 3 again, double crochet 2 times into the first stitch, chain 1. We're going to skip 1 stitch and double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the last stitch 3 times. Turn our work. We're going to double crochet into the first stitch 2 times,
chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet 3 times into the last stitch. Now we're going to chain 3, turn our work, double crochet 2 times into the first stitch here, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet 3 times into the last stitch.
Hey everyone, sorry to disrupt you at the moment, but I just wanted to pop in to ask you to like and subscribe because this helps me to be able to create more content and more tutorials for you in the future. And it also helps to push out my content to more people like you who want to create these tutorials for these designs that I make. So, yeah, if you'd like to, like and subscribe. And I also wanted to let y'all know my plans for the future. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know because I make little updates here and there of what I'm gonna do. But I just wanted to come over to YouTube to let y'all know my plans over here. So yeah. So I've been designing these crochet patterns for a long time now, and usually before I would only sell the written patterns. So I would sell them on Etsy or on my website at baecrochet.com. And I didn't have free tutorials back then, but I decided that I wanted to give it to you for free as well in video form on YouTube. So that's what I'm trying to do for each one of my designs. There's a couple more to do, but it takes a lot of time to create a video tutorial. So, yeah, it takes time. So, that's my plans. I'm going to be working on more tutorials of the designs that I haven't made tutorials for yet. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Just wanted to let you all know. And yeah, you can get back to the video now. Bye, guys.
Okay, now we're going to chain 3, turn our work, double crochet 2 times into the first stitch, and now it's going to become a little different. We're going to chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to skip 1 stitch and double crochet 3 times into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to decrease. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to skip this first double crochet here and go into the next double crochet because we're decreasing now into this little section that we're making here. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1. Now we're going to skip this last double crochet here and we're going to make 3 double crochets into this next double crochet, now we're going to chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to skip 1 stitch and double crochet 3 times into the last stitch. This is what your work should look like so far. Okay, now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. And we're going to double crochet 2 times into the first stitch, just like before. 1, 2. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip 3 chains and single crochet into the 4th chain. So the 4th chain is the one in the middle. So we're single crocheting into that middle stitch. Because remember we made 7 chains here in the last row. So we're single crocheting into the 4th chain of the 7. Now I'm going to chain 3 again. Make this first chain a bit big so that you can work into it in the next round. Chain 3. Skip this section and double crochet 3 times into this stitch here. Now we're going to chain 1, skip this double crochet and double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, skip this last double crochet here, make 3 double crochets into this next double crochet. Chain 3, single crochet into the 4th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 3, double crochet 3 times into the very last stitch. Chain 3 and turn your work. Double crochet 2 times into the first stitch. Now we're going to chain 2 and we're going to skip all this and then count 1, 2, and the 3rd chain we're going to make a single crochet into that chain, and then single crochet into the next single crochet, and then single crochet into the next chain. Now we're going to chain 2. We're going to skip all this and then go into this last double crochet of these 3, and we're going to make 3 double crochets. 3. Now we're going to chain 1, Skip this whole section, double crochet 3 times into the first double crochet of these 3. Now we're going to repeat what we have on this side to this side. So we're going to chain 2, single crochet into the last chain of these 3, single crochet into the next single crochet, single crochet into the next chain, chain 2, skip all this, and then double crochet 3 times into the last stitch. Chain 3, turn your work. We're going to double crochet 2 times into the first stitch, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the second chain, 1, 2, and single crochet into each of these single crochets. Single crochet into the next chain and chain 4. Now we're going to double crochet into this chain 3 times. Now we're going to repeat what we have on this side to this side. Now we're going to double crochet 3 times into the last stitch. Now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. Now we're going to double crochet 2 times into the first stitch. Now we're going to chain 1, skip 1 double crochet 3 times into the next double crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, skip all these chains, skip 1 single crochet, and then single crochet into the next single crochet, single crochet into the next 2 single crochets. So we have a total of 3 single crochets. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to skip this 1 single crochet and the chains and go into the first double crochet and make 3 double crochets. Chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, go into the next double crochet and make 3 double crochets. Now we're going to repeat what we have on this side to this side. Now I'm going to chain 1 and make 3 double crochets into the last stitch. Now I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, double crochet 2 times into the first stitch, chain 1, skip 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain and double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 double crochet and double crochet into the next double crochet 3 times. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a new section starting here that is the same as this section down here. See how we have 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, same thing here. And now we have this row is the same as this row. So essentially for each row you can look down at where you are to see what may be next, but we have to finish off this section to see how to do that. So now I'm gonna chain 2 and then single crochet into the middle of these 3 single crochets, which is this one single crochet. Now chain 2, double crochet 3 times into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 and double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 double crochet 3 times into the next double crochet. And now I'm going to chain 2 and repeat what's on this side to this side. So this is what we should have. Now I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work. Now I'm going to double crochet 2 times into the first stitch, and essentially we can see this row down here with the 2 double crochets. So we're going to move on to this row so we can see what to do next. We'll have 4 double crochets in this section, so let's do that. Chain 1, skip 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. So we have 4 there. Now we're going to chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and then double crochet 3 times into the next double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1, skip this section, and then double crochet 3 times into the next double crochet. So essentially we're going to repeat what we have over here to here and to here. Okay? So this is what you should have so far. Now I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work. Okay, now I'm going to double crochet 2 times into the first double crochet. Now we can look down at our work. We have 4 double crochets here, which are these here. And now we're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets in between these 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets. So let's do that. So chain 1, skip 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, So that's 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now I'm going to chain 1, make 3 double crochets into this chain. We're going to repeat this over here and over here. Okay? And this is what your work should look like. We're going to find our measure A. Our measure A would be the measurement from here to here. Do not stretch your work. Leave it as it is. Do not stretch it. Leave it flat. And you're going to measure. So this is about 14 inches for me. And my measure B, which is my hip measurements around my hip, and depending on how much coverage I would like a snug fit, I would go with less, and if I would like a looser fit, I would go with more. So my measure B was around 18 inches, which is over here. So I need to make more rows until I reach 18 inches or close to 18 inches. So you will need to replicate this with yours. And what you will need to do is repeat rows 6 to 13 and then measure again until you reach your measurement. And the amount of stitches on each row would be different because we'll have more and more stitches. So you're going to keep repeating from row 6 to row 13, okay, until you reach your measurement. So I'm going to do that and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I just finished repeating rows 6 to 13 once more. And now I have a total of 21 rows. So you need to make sure that you have any one of these number of rows. So you can have 13 rows, 21 rows, 29 rows, 37 rows, 45 rows, 53, and 61, and so on. So you keep creating rows until you reach closest to your measurement. So my measurement was around 18, but since I wanted a looser fit, I decided to make another repeat of these rows. So I went with 21 rows. My measurement was 18, but since it was too small at 13 rows, and it's not exactly 18 inches, but it is better to be more than to be less. And from here, we're gonna create the rest of the back panel. Okay, so once you've established your number of rows, we can move on to the next step. So we're going to chain 3, and we're going to turn our work, and we're not going to increase anymore. Okay, I'm not going to work into this stitch here like before. I'm just going to work into this stitch, the next stitch, double crochet, and then double crochet 3 times into the next stitch. Now I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to skip this double crochet and double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1. Once you have one more double crochet, we're going to skip that one and then double crochet 3 times into the next double crochet. So this is what you should have. And before, what we would do from here is chain 7, but we're not going to do that anymore. So what we're going to do is just fill in the extra space. So we're going to double crochet into the next double crochet, and now we're going to make 3 double crochets into the next double crochet. And essentially we're going to repeat from here onwards over and over until we reach the end of the row. And we're going to repeat that all the way until we reach the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached the end, and we want to make sure that the end is the same as the start. So I just did 3 double crochets into this double crochet, and now I'm going to make a double crochet into the next double crochet, and then 1 double crochet into the last double crochet. No increases, and we're going to continue on with no increases. We're going to chain 3 and turn our work, and we're not going to work into the first stitch here. We're going to work into the next stitch, double crochet, into the next stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, and make 3 double crochets into the next stitch. Okay, now we're going to chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip this double crochet into the next double crochet 3 times. Now we're going to double crochet into each one of these until we reach here. Now we're going to make 3 double crochets into the last one here, and we're going to repeat this all the way until we reach the end. Okay, and as you can see, it's decreasing the number of these. So we're going to repeat from here onwards all the way to the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reach back to the end here, and you have to make sure that the end is the same as the beginning. So I just did a double crochet there, and now I'm going to double crochet into the next stitch, and then double crochet once more into the last stitch. No increases. Chain 3, turn my work. We're not working into this stitch, we're working into the next stitch. Double crochet until you reach here, double crochet 3 times into this double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1, skip this section, double crochet into the next double crochet here 3 times. 3. So this is what we should have, and now I'm going to double crochet into each one of these stitches, and then 3 times into this stitch, and repeat. And we're going to repeat that all the way until we reach the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached back over here. I just realized that I haven't been using my crochet ring. That's why it has this here. I hate when that happens. So, but this actually really helps. It prevents that from happening. So the yarn doesn't go around my finger and hurt it. But yeah, if you like that ring, you can see it linked below. Okay, so make sure that the end is the same as the beginning. So I'm going to double crochet into this stitch and then double crochet once into the last stitch. Now I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work, skip this stitch, double crochet into the next stitch and double crochet into each stitch until we reach here. Okay, once we reach this section with this chain 1, we're just going to double crochet once into that chain 1. Okay, and then continue double crocheting into each stitch. So continue double crocheting into each stitch until we reach the exact middle of your work. Okay, so the middle is this section from here to here. So let's stop double crocheting until we reach here and I'll meet you back. I'll show you what to do. Okay, so I reached the middle. I stopped at the middle. We want to make sure that we leave 3 stitches free in the middle. So I'm going to double crochet once more, and now I'm going to leave 1, 2, 3 of these stitches free, and I'm going to chain 3, and now I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3 and double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, and we're going to continue double crocheting into each stitch all the way until we reach the end, just like this side. Okay, so make sure they're equal on both sides. Okay, I just did this section here. I just did a double crochet into the second to last stitch, and now I'm going to work into the very last stitch, 1 double crochet. Make sure that both sides are the same, chain 3 and turn my work. And now I'm going to double crochet into each stitch, not this one, the next one. So double crochet into each stitch all the way until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I just double crocheted into each stitch until I reach the middle, and this is what I have here. I left 1 double crochet free, and now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to double crochet into the middle chain. So skipping this chain and going into the one in the middle, so the second chain. Okay, now I'm going to chain 2 and make sure that these 2 sides are the same. So I'm going to skip this chain, skip this double crochet, and double crochet into this double crochet. Okay, now I'm going to double crochet into each stitch all the way until we reach the end. Okay, so make sure that this side is the same as this side, so double crochet into each stitch until we reach the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reach here. I just did my second to last stitch, which is a double crochet and then a double crochet into the very last stitch. Now I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, and I'm going to double crochet into each stitch until I reach this middle section, all the way until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached back to the middle section. I left 1 double crochet free at the end, so now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to skip these 2 stitches because we just chained 2, and now we're going to double crochet into the next chain, which is this one double crochet into the next double crochet, double crochet into the next chain, now I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to skip 1 chain and 1 double crochet and double crochet into the next double crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to double crochet into each double crochet all the way until we reach the end. So double crochet into each stitch until the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reach back to the end, and I'm going to double crochet into the last stitch, chain 3, turn my work, double crochet into the next stitch, and double crochet into each stitch, and double crochet into each stitch until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reach back to here, and we're going to do the same thing just like before. So I'm going to chain 2, I'm leaving 1 double crochet free, chain 2, skip 1 double crochet, skip 1 chain, double crochet into the next chain, double crochet into the next 3 double crochets, double crochet into the next chain, and make this side look like this side. So chain 2, skip 2, and double crochet into the next double crochet, and then double crochet into each stitch. So this is what you should have, and continue double crocheting all the way until you reach the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached back here. I just did a double crochet into the second to last stitch, and now I'm going to make the last double crochet into the last stitch. Now we're going to repeat that again until we reach here. So we're going to chain 3, turn our work, and double crochet into each stitch, double crochet into each stitch all the way until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so from here I just did my last double crochet, and I have this one free, and we're going to skip 2 stitches, and we're going to chain 2, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and then double crochet into the next stitch, which is this chain 1. Okay, now double crochet into each one of these stitches, now we're going to make sure that this side and this side is the same. So we're going to double crochet into the next chain, and then chain 2, skip 2 stitches, which is this chain and this double crochet, and double crochet into the next stitch, and then double crochet into each stitch all the way until we reach the end of the row. Okay, all the way until we reach the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reached back to the end here, and I just made my second to last double crochet, and now I'm going to make the last double crochet into the last stitch, and I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work and double crochet into each stitch all the way until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, we reach back to here, and now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and skip 2 stitches. So I'm skipping this double crochet and this chain, and now I'm going to go into the next chain space and make a double crochet, and then double crochet into each of these double crochets. Now I'm going to double crochet into the next chain stitch, and then chain 2, and now I'm going to skip 2 stitches, which is this chain and this double crochet, and double crochet into the next stitch and double crochet all along until we reach the end. So take note of this 9 double crochets that we have here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Once we reach 9 in the middle, we're going to stop and do something different on the next row. So I'll show you once we reach there. So finish off this, continue double crocheting until the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reach back to the end here, and I'm just going to make my last double crochet into the last stitch. And now I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work and double crochet all along until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so from here, this is where it becomes a little different. So once we have 9 double crochets in the middle here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, we have to change it up a little bit. So we're going to chain 2, leaving these 2 stitches free, this double crochet and this chain stitch. Now we're going to double crochet into the next chain stitch, skipping 2 stitches, and now we're only going to double crochet a total of 4 times. So we're going to count 4 double crochets. So that's 3 so far, now 4. So we have a total of 4 on one side, and we're going to make another 4 on the other side. But first we have to chain 3, 1 2 3, and we're going to skip 3 stitches now. 1 2 3, and double crochet into the next 4 stitches. Two, 3, and 4th stitch into that chain stitch. So this is what it should look like. 4 on both sides. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and basically this 3 part here that we skipped is going to start over, and in the next row we're going to put 1 double crochet in the middle of that. So we're starting over another triangle in the middle here. So now we're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double crochet into the next stitch, and double crochet into each stitch all along, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reach back to this side, and I just double crochet into that stitch, and now I'm going to double crochet into the very last stitch. Now I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, double crochet all along until you reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so from here I just double crocheted into this stitch right here, and now from here I'm going to chain 2 and skip 2 stitches just like before. So we're skipping this double crochet, and we're skipping this chain stitch, and we're going into the next chain stitch. And you see how we have 4 double crochets here? We're going to keep making 4 double crochets for each row. Okay, so we're going to make 4, chain 2, and we're going to double crochet into the middle of the 3. So 1 double crochet. Now we're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 chain, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and make 4 double crochets. And then the last one would go into this chain stitch just like on this side. Okay, now chain 2, skip 2 stitches, this chain stitch, this double crochet, and double crochet into the next stitch, and then double crochet into each stitch all along. And as you can see here, we just started back this little section that we have down here. So in the following row you can kind of see what may be next, and we're going to keep creating these little sections of 4 4 4. Okay, 4 double crochets. So I'll meet you back once I reach back over there. Okay, I reach back to this end here. I just made a double crochet I changed my yarn. It might look a little different, but that's okay. And now double crochet into the very last stitch, chain 3 and turn your work. And now you're going to double crochet into each stitch until you reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reach back to here, and we're going to do just like we did before. Chain 2 and skip 2 stitches, this double crochet and this chain stitch. And now we're going to double crochet into the next chain stitch. And just like the previous row, how we have 4 double crochets here, we're going to make 4 double crochets again. So we have 1 already. So we have 4. Now we can kind of look down at the row down here to see what may be next. So we have our single double crochet here and our single double crochet here. So what's on top of the single double crochet? We have 1, 2, 3 double crochets. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, then make 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. Now we're going to make this side look like this side. So we're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and double crochet into the next 4 stitches. We're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double crochet into the next stitch, and then double crochet into each stitch until we reach the end of the row, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reached back to the end. I just did my second to last double crochet, and now I'm going to double crochet into the very last stitch. Now I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, and then double crochet into each stitch until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so now that we reach back here, I left 1 double crochet free there. Now I'm going to chain 2 and skip 2 stitches, which is this double crochet and this chain, and go into the next chain stitch and make a double crochet. Now we're going to make 4 double crochets just like the previous row. Now we're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, this double crochet and this chain stitch, and go into the next chain stitch, and we're going to double crochet, and we can look down at this row and see how much double crochets are in the following row after these 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to make a total of 5. And the 5th one would be into the next chain stitch. Now we're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 chain stitch, 1 double crochet into the next 4 stitches, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double crochet into the next stitch, and then double crochet into each stitch all along until you reach the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so we reach back to the end here, and now I'm going to double crochet into the very last stitch, which is this one, and I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, and double crochet into each stitch until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so we reach back. Now I'm going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and then double crochet into the next stitch, which is this chain stitch. Now we're going to make a total of 4 double crochets. We have 1 so far. Now we're going to chain 2 and skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, go into the next stitch, which is this chain stitch, and make a double crochet. And we're going to double crochet until we reach the end here, and we can see how much we have to do next if we look down here. So that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 more, 7 double crochets we need to make up here. So let's do that. Now we're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 2, and make 4 double crochets. Now I'm going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and then double crochet into the next stitch, and then double crochet into each stitch all along until we reach the end of the row. Okay, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reach back to the end here, and I'm going to double crochet into the very last stitch, which is right here, and I'm going to chain 3, 1 2 3, turn my work, and then double crochet into each stitch all along until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reach back over here, and now I'm going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double crochet into the next stitch, double crochet a total of 4 times. Now I'm going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and then double crochet into the next stitch, which is this chain. And now we can look down here. So we have 7 double crochets here, 7 double crochets here, and then this next row would be the 9 double crochets. So that would be the last row in the middle that we make. That is 9 double crochets. So we have to keep looking out for the row that we make 9 double crochets on, because in the following row we're going to make this section here with the 4 again, and then these would just go out more to the sides. In every row it goes out a little more. Okay, now we're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 2, double crochet into the next stitch, and then double crochet into each stitch until we reach the end of the row, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reach back to the end here, and I'm gonna double crochet into the very last stitch, which is this one, and then chain 3 and turn my work, and then double crochet into each stitch all along until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reach back to here, and now I'm gonna chain 2, 1 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 2, double crochet into the next stitch, now I'm gonna chain 2, and now since we have a total of 9 double crochets together in the middle here, we're not gonna make more than that. So we're gonna skip 2 stitches, double crochet into the next stitch, and we're gonna make a total of 4 in the next 4 stitches. Just like below here. Now we have to chain 3 and skip 3 stitches. We're going to skip 3 stitches, 1 2 3, and then double crochet in the next stitch, and then make a total of 4 double crochets. Now I'm going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 2, double crochet into the next 4 stitches, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double crochet into the next stitch, and then double crochet into each stitch all along until you reach the end of the row. Okay, so from here I'm gonna leave you to do the rest. So we're gonna keep creating rows until you reach your desired length for your back panel. So you're going to hold it up to your back to see if you like the length. And yeah, you keep creating rows, and every time in the middle here we reach 9 double crochets, we're going to separate them into sections of 4 like this, and then a chain 3 in the middle and skip 3 stitches. So this will essentially go out to the ends. Once this chain 2 section reaches out to the edges, I'll show you what to do, but I'll leave you to do the rest of the rows by yourself, and I'll meet you back once we reach to the section where this chain 2 space reaches the end of the row. So I'll show you what to do, and I'll meet you back, okay? Okay, so as you can see here, the triangular design kind of moves out towards the sides, and then you have to figure out how to make the ends look like this. So I did it a couple of times, as you can see here, in this section, this section, this section, and this section. I left off at this last row that I am at here right now with 2 double crochets at either end. So what do you do after there's 2 double crochets left? So let me show you what to do once you reach here. So from here you're going to chain 3 just like normal. 1, 2, 3. Turn my work. Now we're going to chain 2. 1 and 2. So that's a total of 5 chains here. And now we're going to double crochet into this chain. So we're skipping this double crochet, this chain, and we're going into the next chain. Make a double crochet. Okay, so this acts as a chain 2 space here and a double crochet at the end. Now we're going to continue our row like normal with the sets of 4 double crochets, and I'll show you what to do at the end of the row. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and I reach back at the end here. So at the very end, we're going to make the beginning look just like the end. So after your 4 double crochets, you're going to chain 2 and double crochet into the last stitch, which is this chain 3 space here. So we're skipping the chain 1 space and skipping this chain 1 and this double crochet. Okay, so the beginning and the end look the same with a double crochet and chain 2, double crochet and chain 2. So for the next row, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work, and now it's going to be a little different. We're going to chain 1 more, so that's a total of 4 chains. Now we're going to skip this first chain and then go into the next chain with a double crochet. This chain 4 acts as a double crochet and chain 1. So now we're going to do our 4 double crochets just like usual, and then chain 2 and move on how you would normally move on, just like that. And we're going to continue that all the way to the end, and I'll meet you back and show you what to do at the end. Okay, so I reach back to the end here, and now we have to make the end look like the beginning of the row. So I already made my 4 double crochets, and the last one was into the first chain. Okay, now I'm going to chain 1 just like the beginning of the row, and I'm going to skip 1 chain and go into the last stitch, which is this chain 3 space, which counts as a double crochet, just like that. Okay, so the beginning and end look the same. Okay, so for the next row, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work, and now I'm going to double crochet into the chain space, into the chain 1, and then double crochet into the next double crochet, double crochet into the next double crochet, double crochet into the next double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 2, and here's where I can move on with my sets of 4 double crochets. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So you have a total of 5 double crochets at the end here, and you're going to do the same thing for this end. And yeah, that's how you do that. So as you can see down here, so this is a chain 1 space here. Yeah, so this space is the same as this space here. So we have our set of 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. So here is the same as there, and for the following row you will have 4 on top of it, 4 double crochets on top of it, and then for the following row you will have 3 double crochets on top of it, and so on and so on. So you keep repeating this once these spaces reach the end of the row. Okay, just make sure that the beginning and the end of the row are the same with the same amount of stitches. Okay, so this is my back panel. So when I hold it up towards my back like this, it would reach somewhere around there. I wanted it to be long. Yeah, but if you would like it to be shorter, like around here, you can also not do so much. But I really wanted mine to be kind of long, so hold it up to your shoulders around this area. See if you like it at that length. And yeah. Okay, so what I have here is the sleeve panels. I finished this one already, and now I'm working on the next one. So let me show you exactly what to do to make your sleeve panels. You're going to chain an amount that is an uneven number. Because remember, at the middle here, we have 3 chains. Those 3 chains, because it's an uneven number here, we want to make sure that the total amount is an uneven number. Yeah, so you're going to measure, take your measuring tape and measure around your shoulder like this, leaving some space. Make sure it's not too tight because it will be hard to get your hand through once we're finished. So I'm leaving about this much space, okay? And take your measurement down, write it down on a piece of paper. Okay, so my measurement was around 16 inches. So that's what I have from here to here, 16 inches. So you're going to write down your measurement and then chain an amount that corresponds to your measurement. So you're going to keep chaining until you reach your measurement. So I chained until I reached 16 inches, and I had a total of 49 chains. You have to make sure that it is an uneven number, okay? And once you've chained your amount, make sure it's an uneven number first, and then you're gonna add 2 chains. Now we can start to double crochet. So here's where I added my 2 chains, and then you're gonna double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. So the first 3 chains counts as a double crochet, and then after you've counted your number of chains, you're gonna take your number and minus 3. We're minusing 3 because we have 3 stitches at the middle here. 1 2 3. So once you minus 3 from your amount of chains, mine would be 46. Once you've got that number, you're going to divide it by 2. Half of 46 would be 23. So that means that I make a total of 23 double crochets on either side. So this is 23 here, 23 here. So that's what you're going to do to make your sleeve. I hope this is understandable for you. It's just the maths that are involved, just to help you along the way. Okay, so once you've got that, you're going to double crochet. For me, it was 23, a total of 23 double crochets. I did it here until this point, and then I chained 3 and then skipped 3 chains. Then I continued to double crochet until the end of the row. Okay, and then the next row you continue just like how the pattern was at the back panel of your work that we just did, just like before with this triangular pattern, but it will be a little different. So if you want your sleeves to have to be a little wider around your wrist area, you can start to add on stitches to make it wider. So I continued with no increases along here until around here, I believe. Let's see. Yes, I started my increases around here with the 2 double crochets at the end of the row and at the beginning of the row. So I continued in every row, adding on 1 more to each side, 1 more double crochet to each side. So that's what I'm going to have to do from here now to start adding on my extra increases. Okay, so you're going to continue making your sleeves, and you can decide where you would like to start your increases. I have mine starting maybe around halfway through. I started increasing, and you want to measure as you go along to see how long you would like your sleeves, but try not to make it too long because once you wear it, with wear and tear, it will start to get longer, is what I realized from having my own and designing this before. So I had this cardigan for a long time now, and I use it regularly. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm not gonna add more rows to this because I think that it's gonna stretch over time. So I'm leaving this little amount here by my wrist open, and yeah, so I'm gonna make the second one with the same amount of stitches, same amount of increases, and I'll meet you back, okay? Okay, so what I have here is my front panel laid next to my back panel. So the front panel must be the same length as the back panel, but we're stopping off at the part where we stop increasing. You're going to count your stitches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to the end there, and make sure that your front panel has the same amount of rows as the back panel from here without the increases. Okay, so this is what it should look like, and I'll show you how to do that now. Okay, so to make your 2 front panels, you're going to decide the width of your front panels. I decided on around 8 inches for one side of my front panel. Okay, so that came up to around 25 stitches, and you want to make sure that this is an uneven number. Make sure that it is an uneven number. Chain an amount that corresponds to your measurement. So mine was around 8 inches, which came up to around 25 chain. So I'm going to chain my 25. Okay, so this is 25, which is around 8 inches. It does not have to be perfect, but that's good enough for me. So this number has to be an uneven number. Once you've got your uneven number of chains, you're gonna add on 2 more chains. 1, 2. Now from here, we're gonna start double crocheting, and this first 3 chains counts as a double crochet. So we're going to work into the 4th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going into the back loop just because I like how that looks better. So you're going to keep double crocheting into each stitch. But let's go back to our numbers. So my total number of chains, you're going to take that number and you're going to minus 3. So that's a total of 22 for me. Once you've got your number, you're going to divide that by 2, which is then equal to 11. So we're going to make a total of, for me, I'm going to make a total of 11 double crochets and then skip 3 chains. So I'll show you. Let me make my total of 11 double crochets into each one of these stitches. Okay, so I have my total of 11 double crochets. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Now I'm going to chain 3, 1 2 3, and skip 3 chains. So that was the purpose of minusing the 3, so that we can accommodate for this little space in the middle. 1 2 3, and work into the 4th chain, and then continue double crocheting into each stitch all the way until the end. Okay, so once you reach the end of your row, you're gonna double check. So you're gonna count the number of double crochets on this side and count the number of double crochets on this side. It must be the same number. So there's 11 double crochets here for me and 11 double crochets here for me, and then the 3 in the middle, 3 chains in the middle. So from here we're going to continue just like how we did the back panel. So yeah, that's how you started off, and I'll leave you to do the rest and I'll meet you back once I'm finished. Okay, from here we're going to connect these pieces together. So you must lay your work out like this. The most practical way in my mind, I would say, is to start from here to here to here, then go from here to here to here, and then you will be left with this piece here and this piece here. So I'll do that with you. There is no definitive front and back side yet because we went in rows. So after we do this, we're going to make a back side. So this side, I decided to go with making slip stitches just because it's easier. So I'll start from here and I'll just count these stitches just to make sure that it's going to be even. For 25. We'll count 25 stitches on this side for 25. So on the 25th stitch on each panel, I'm going to connect them together. Oh, and one more thing. You have to make sure that this part here, with this little space here, is exactly in the middle section where these meet up, okay? If you find a better way to do this, then you can go ahead and do it your way. This is just what seems most practical for me in my mind, so I'm going ahead with this idea. And then now I'm going to go down to this side using the same yarn, and I'm going to connect the middle stitch and then go down. Okay, if you want, you can also attach some stitch markers to make sure that you are connecting these evenly and on the same sides too. So let's look at this row here. Make sure it's on the same row. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So let's do 11 rows on this side. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, so let's connect right here. Whatever feels most correct. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. right here at the end of that, and this last stitch. Okay, so I'll continue slip stitching. I'm working into the middle stitch of these three. If you want, you can also place more stitch markers just to make sure you don't put too much stitches on one part, you know. So I'm gonna cut and fasten off this piece here. I've done from here to here to here. Now I'm gonna do from here to here to here. Now I can cut and fasten off the yarn here. All we need to do now is connect from here to here and here to here. Okay, so a little more slip stitching to do after this. Once you're finished slip stitching these sections, you want to take note that this side that's facing you now, this is the wrong side since we made slip stitches on this side. So now we have to turn our work with the right sides facing each other. Okay, so to do that, you're just going to take these two corners, pull up your work like this, and then lay it flat. So now we have the wrong side facing me, facing you. So these are the slip stitches that we made. And now we can work on slip stitching from here all the way to here, all the way down to here. Okay, and the same thing on this side, slip stitch from here all the way to here, all the way down to there. Okay, use your stitch markers, place them all around your work just so that you can slip stitch everything evenly. But remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, but this helps, I find. I'll leave you to do the rest just like we did before. Start from one side slip stitch all the way to this corner, then all the way down to here. Same thing on this side, slip stitch from this all the way to the corner, all the way down to here. And make sure that your slip stitches that you just made are facing you, so that you can also slip stitch on the same wrong side, and the right side would be on the inside. Okay, I placed all these stitch markers on my work just to make sure that as I slip stitch that I reach a stitch marker and then take it out, then move on to the next stitch marker, so that the back and the front meet up once I slip stitch. Okay, so use as many stitch markers as you would like. I used a lot, like all of my stitch markers. So yeah, so I'll leave you to do the rest, and yeah, I'll meet you back. I just finished connecting all of this together, but this time I decided to go with a needle and the yarn. As you can see here, you could kind of see it better on this side where I connected with a needle and the yarn, just because I found it easier to work into the sides of these double crochets instead of using slip stitches. So I just use a needle and yarn on both sides. So now you're gonna place your work on the front side. This right now is the wrong side because this is where the slip stitches were made, the connecting stitches. So we're gonna place everything on the right side now. Okay, and now I have my work placed on the front side. We're gonna start working from this corner right here, and we're gonna go all the way up here, all the way onto the next side, all the way down, all the way to this edge, then all the way to the bottom of this, then all the way back up and back to the beginning. We're going to be making a single crochet border around this. So once you've made your slip knot, I'm just going to go into this space right here at the side of this double crochet, and since we're working into the sides of these double crochets, I'm going to place 2 single crochets into each side of a double crochet. So I'm going to make a standing single crochet, and to make a standing single crochet, you place your yarn through your work, grab the loop, and just make a single crochet so it's standing. So I'm making 2 single crochets into the side of this double crochet, this first double crochet. Now I'm going to go into the next side of the next double crochet and work 2 single crochets. And then 2 single crochets into the next side of the next double crochet. And I'm going to continue just like this all the way up to this edge, and then back down to here. Okay, I just went ahead and made single crochets all the way up to this edge. You may not have any space here if your front panels reached the middle, the exact middle. So you could skip this step if you do not have that space. And then back to this edge here with 2 single crochets into this side of this double crochet. And then I'm going to continue working all the way down, placing 2 single crochets into the side of each double crochet. Okay, that's what it looks like, and I'll go straight down and I'll meet you back when I reach there. So I reach back down to here, and now at the corner I'm just going to chain 2 and then continue along this edge, working along that edge. So since this double crochet is a stitch, we're going to work into this space right here. Okay, just like that. Chain 2 at the corner and then continue single crocheting all the way to this edge. But once we reach here, we're going to go ahead and work into the sides of each of these double crochets, and I'll show you what to do when we reach there. Okay, so I just worked this edge here and I'm working the bottom now So it went around to here. And at the tip, at the very tip, I'm just gonna make, I just did my last 2 single crochets at this corner, and now I'm gonna make 3 chains and then go ahead and continue single crocheting onto the next corner. So this is what it should look like. Yeah, and then continue all the way up to here and then back to the beginning of the row, and I'll meet you back. Okay, and I just worked into the last stitch, which is this double crochet that we made 2 single crochets into the side of this. So I just worked my last single crochet into that space right there, and just like this corner where we chain 2, I'm going to chain 2 again and slip stitch into that first stitch we made, just like that. Now we're going to move on to the next row. Now I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to work into the same stitch that we slip stitch into, but try to work into the back loop alone, not into this space here, but into the back loop. I know it's going to be a little tight, but that's okay. Work a half double crochet into the back loop. Now half double crochet into the back loop of the next stitch, which is right here. So we're not making half double crochets into the whole single crochet stitch like we normally would. We're just working into the back loop. Okay, so you're going to continue making half double crochets just like this into the back loop alone. So you're going to continue all the way up and back around to this corner, and I'll meet you back once we reach here. Okay? Okay, so I just went all the way up and around with the half double crochets, but this is all the yarn I have left. Okay, so I found this yarn. It's not the same size, but when I triple up the yarn, it's close. So I'll be using this. So once you reach this corner here with this chain 2, you're gonna make a half double crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 2, make another half double crochet into the same chain 2 space, and then continue working your half double crochets into the back loop alone. So you're going to continue just like that all the way around, and I'll meet you back once we reach here. Okay, so I went ahead and went all the way down and back to the beginning of the row. And what I did here is place 1 half double crochet, chain 2, then a half double crochet into this chain 2 space, just like over here. So I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch of that row, of the half double crochet row, and I'm going to repeat this row once more. So I'll leave you to do that and repeat everything we did in this last half double crochet row once more, all the way around and back to the end here. Okay, so I'll meet you back once we're finished. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I finished the border. I just placed these beads here. I'm going to be adding 3 beads. You could add 2, you could add 1, depending on what you want. And you could add beads, whatever size beads that you want. But you want to keep in mind that there's different size holes along this edge here. So I'm going to place my beads where these big holes are, since my beads are big. So there's a big hole here, a big hole here, and a big hole here. So I'm placing my beads in line with those. So you just want to lay your work out flat and make sure everything is even before you connect your beads. You just use a needle and thread to attach your beads, and yeah, that'll be the end. So I'll meet you back once I'm finished, and I'll show you what it looks like once worn.